But actually, I would probably say the secret is to not wash it. Now, that's not
You heard it here first. Don't wash it, people.
That's not being gross, everyone. Like, I do wash on... I don't have a bra on, that's the only thing.
I don't have a bra on either. Alright, we're all in green.
Oh, am I allowed to have a drink whilst...
Why would you not? What are you drinking, right? It's just that when you put your glass back down, just put it off screen. But yeah, I will.
Oh, okay.
You can drink what you want.
Okay, cheers.
Cheers to that one. I'll take the GC, I took the broken glass.
Oh, I did, yeah.
Yeah, what a guy.
Thank you.
I better actually drink that. Cuckoo, couture, everybody. Welcome to the Aquarium, the Piscean presented podcast. How's that for a conversation?
That's good, yeah, I like it.
Tell us think about that in the car. Well, I am Coach Rab, and I'll give you the health and wellness. And this is the lovely Libby, who is likely going to give you some floofy chat.
You're not meant to tell.
Today's episode is going to be about the pressures of social media, but we will do our usual chit chat about nothing in between. So we can start off just firstly, what have you been up to this week? And I will pretend I do not know. It's not like we don't spend every day together.
Yeah, or speak all the time.
Yes.
I've had quite a busy week actually. You know, it's been quite stressful.
It has been very
stressful.
stressful.
It has been pretty stressful.
She's had van troubles.
But it's looking up now. So yeah.
Moving on up.
We've got a new van.
New van,
and it's a nice van, isn't it? It's very nice.
You had like the perfect storm of everything going wrong, didn't you?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
A bump in the van, followed by repairs that fell untimely over an MOT. And in the UK, an MOT, you're not allowed to drive around unless you have one.
Yeah. It was all very unfortunate how it all linked in together, didn't it? But it's okay, we got it sorted, didn't we?
Is that not like a Jim Carrey movie? A series of unfortunate events. It was a book as well, I think.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
It sure is. Series
what did they say? They say it comes in threes.
So your van was one.
My van was one. The other thing was another.
The other thing that thou shall not be mentioned.
No, we shall not mention that. That
is your three done?
What was the third thing?
I don't know. We've got two dogs in here as well, so if you hear whining, yeah, don't worry, it's fine.
That's Nala.
Her tail's wagging now.
She's like, "Where's my dinner?"
She's actually got another 6-month health check, and I keep getting like fat shamed at the vets because they take her weight from when she was, I don't know, 3 years old, 2 years old, whenever she was, when she was lean, mean, running machine, and she's since been spayed, and she's never. Nala, your blooming tail's loud. She's always like a kilo or two over, and it's always like, aren't you a personal trainer, Rab? I'm like, yes.
Did she get looked at when she was really fit though?
They always time it wrong.
Yeah, I was going to say, remember when she was really fit?
Oh, that was not a few months ago.
Yeah,
that fell wrong, because now her 6-month checkup's due.
Funny how that happens.
I know, it's so annoying. I'm like, ah. So she's back on the diet. Well, it's not really the diet as such. She just gets her normal food and then just walking a bit more.
No plates.
No plates. No plates.
No plates, Rab.
No plates. No plates.
How's your week been?
My week, I am fighting off a cold. Now, you ladies will not understand man flu, but it's a serious thing. It's an affliction that only us men can cope with. They say it's worse than childbirth. And I definitely think the end is nigh.
Have you seen the YouTube of that?
What's it? No,
the actual man flu thing. Have you seen it?
Man flu is a real thing.
But have you seen the YouTube?
Apparently I haven't.
It's so funny. So it's a guy lying on a sofa and the wife comes in. She's like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "Oh, no, I'm not." He's like, "Get away from me." And he's got all these tissues and stuff. And the ambulance come in and they like move the wife out the way. They're like, "Move out the way. Man needs me." It's so funny. Oh, I should show you that actually.
Laura, you didn't come, so I dialed 999.
What?
Where is he? Quickly, love. Okay, son, everything's gonna be fine.
I'm gonna die.
Not if we can help it.
My head's so burny.
How did this happen? Oh, he caught the cold off me?
Just don't think, do you?
I'm a bit confused. Hasn't he just got a cold?
For God's sake, woman, he's a man. He's got a man cold. Do not, under any circumstances, move from this bed, okay? You, take this bell. When he rings it, I want you to come to him and rub his head and say, "Poor little bunny."
Well, I sympathise with that man. So yeah, fighting off man flu, and Nala just kicked the thingy. Nala out.
Oh, Nala, out.
Children and animals.
Animals and
Right.
children.
We can make that work. Welcome back, everybody. This is the problem with animals running around the what is this?
Animals
That's
and
your leg.
children. Yeah.
It's probably use a green screen as well. We're trying to be production value.
I know.
What was I saying before Nala destroyed the setup? Something about my
Oh, what were
week.
you saying?
Can't remember what I was saying. I'm fighting off man
Oh,
flu
your man
and
flu, yeah.
other than that, I don't think I've got anything exciting to report, to be honest. No, I've been
Your new course?
Oh no, and I got my new game.
Oh, yeah.
My new game.
Oh my God, how did we forget about that?
How could we forget about that? Yeah. I pre-warned Libby. I said, look, when this game comes out,
Oh, yeah.
you're gonna be like
I got a lot. I got more
you're
than
gonna be like a
I got-
PlayStation widow.
I got more than pre-warning.
I gave you
You
months
told me
notice.
months and months.
Well, I would have to. I mean, I couldn't let that just suddenly be sprung on you. You know. Are you coping okay though? You're not missing me too much.
No.
What do you mean, no?
I like to hear it at 6 a.m. on a Saturday.
What do you mean? No, you've not been missing me.
No, I mean 6 a.m. on a Saturday.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm glad you're enjoying the game.
So yes, PlayStation. I was going to say corpse widow. I've actually not been playing it as much as I thought it would be, but never mind. So other than that,
Is it everything you thought it was going to be?
it was everything I wanted it to be and more.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing, isn't it? All the
Well, I grew up with
effects.
8-bit games where they were like Super Mario and were so basic. Like you actually only could get 8 moving parts on the screen, and your character would be one of them. Whereas nowadays games are just so like, so advanced. You take one look at it, it almost looks like real life. I think they dumb it down to deliberately make it not quite look real life.
Yeah,
Because there's that element of people not liking it being too real.
yeah. But still, it's quite cool to watch. I do quite like watching you.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, you are quite good. You're getting better as well.
I am quite good, but I'm getting better. In other words, there was a period I wasn't getting embarrassed in front of my lady, getting my ass kicked.
Takes a while to get used to it.
Well, years and years ago, I played this online game and I got bullied. I was
Oh.
So it was a game that I played, and it was like a strategy-like game. I thought, I know what I'll do. I'm quite good against playing the computer. I'll play real people. And I guess my strategy for beating the computer got laughed at by all these little kids, or whoever they were. They were sort of it was one of those kind of passive-aggressive bullying. They're like, I've never seen somebody use gun turrets like that. Does that work against real people?
No.
Clearly not. And I was like, just scurrying away.
Oh no! Yeah, I bet they're really horrible on there.
Well, I changed my username and everything after that.
Oh, did you?
I was like, who was that guy?
yeah.
I cover up afterwards, but
At least nobody does know who you are, right?
well, I hope not. I'm not going to say my username.
Oh, okay.
What's
Is it an obvious one?
No, well, maybe on PlayStation actually.
Oh, okay.
What was it on the Transformers movies? Wiki 269444 or something. And they're looking for them. Oh well. So today's episode is the pressures of social media.
Yes.
For male and female, they are slightly different.
Very,
You
I
have
would
very
say.
different pressures to mine.
Yeah, I think so.
What pressures have you experienced in the social media world, Libby?
Well, when I was growing up, social media wasn't around. I was the last generation for it. The last. But it was very much magazines when I was growing up, and TV. But I remember pretty well the Spice Girls being quite a influence on growing up, and they were all very, very slim, especially Victoria. She was quite slim.
What was the girls' magazines? Was it More? No, what was it called? More?
Okay.
No, OK was quite aimed at adults, was it not? Was it not a girls' magazine aimed at teens called More?
Oh, I don't know.
I seem to remember looking at problem pages. I thought they were quite clever.
Really? But you used to have like the page 3.
Oh yeah, the page.
I mean, I guess that now is the equivalent to OnlyFans, right? Page 3 and
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah.
Or just I guess so.
Yeah.
I guess so, yeah. And then had what was it? There was all the lads mags as well, wasn't there? And that's how people used to break through if they were going down that route. But did you then feel influenced by that, or did you just kind of look at that as?
I was definitely influenced by it because there was no. Now it's way more acceptable to have curves.
Mhm.
It really wasn't. It was very much size 6 to 8. That was, I think. I look back now, which is quite interesting, and I remember being at that stage and being like, I am so big, thinking I was big, and I really wasn't. Actually, I was only a size 8. But now, because time's moved on, and it's a lot more accepted, curves and boobs and bum and hips, like that's a lot more in now. But I look back now and I think, oh, that's really slim.
Mm-hmm.
But it's funny, when I was there and I didn't think it was slim. It's just different now, isn't it?
It's because things are so airbrushed. Like somebody I was speaking to, their partner had been on a night out with her friends, and he basically said that the friends group use like 3 or 4 different apps to doctor their images afterwards. I was like, really? I remember thinking, like, how can you be bothered? And apparently within the friends group, they'd all communicate with each other about which pictures were allowed to be posted because, somebody might be at the forefront of one picture looking good, but if the friend wasn't looking great in the same image, they'd all have to agree if it was okay to post it. And they use all these, there's one for teeth whitening, skin tone, all this body shape.
Is that
and
the
stuff.
filters?
No, I think
No.
it sounded like separate apps.
Yeah, I do know you get those. Yeah.
And it sounded like an awful lot of work.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. If I was to be really honest with you here, I have looked at one of those apps before.
There we go.
It's coming out now. I never actually
Confession time.
I never actually used it, I promise.
I was in the depths of winter.
I never used it, but the power of it definitely made me realize the power of it, because in the app, in one of the photos, I could basically cinch my face in.
What does that mean, cinch your face?
Like you've got Botox.
Oh.
Or like it makes your jawline a lot more defined.
Oh.
And there was just like a little dial that you could use, and I did it, and I thought, oh, that looks great. Oh my god, I really want to use that, but I didn't. I was like, no, I can't do that.
The thing is, people think it's a new thing, right? But even way back in ancient Greek or Roman statues, you look at these Adonises, they've all got abs out and flexed and all this kind of stuff with their spears. And if you actually think back to those times, not that we could think back, but if you look back, malnutrition was huge in those days. They didn't have the protein intake that we have today. The physiques you see on these statues are the kind of thing you'd see as amateur bodybuilders in 2020 or 2024 or this point onwards. So even back then, they were adding inches to these statues to make it the image of perfection. And you think if they were doing a statue of, I'll just say Julius Caesar with his armor off and he had 6-pack abs, all the peasants and poor people were like, oh my goodness, the Roman emperor is incredible. Now, he probably didn't look like that under his armor, but it would give that perception. So even back then, the idea was, here's this almost impossible physique to attain. And like whenever I've done any of these posy photo shoots, like I've always tried to be kind of upfront that social media isn't real. Like, so when it comes to like those photos,
it's not reality, is it?
No, you don't walk. I mean, there's a running joke that then when us guys are in the gym, when we work out, we pump our muscles up at that time, and we typically go into the changing room. You'd look in the mirror with good light, and you're like, I wish I could look like this all the time. And 2 or 3 hours later, you deflate and you go back to just not average Joe, but less than you were, and it's quite frustrating. And so for those photo shoots, whenever I've done ones for calendar or anything like that, I cut my water out from the day before, so you're a little bit dehydrated. And then right before the photo shoot, I do like 1,000,000 push-ups, right? And then you're all pumped up. You take the photo, and it's as if I look like this all the time. It's like, it's so. But the thing is, if you don't do it, you then can't compare. Like everybody always sees these other images of these models, and then they try. It's not a fair comparison. That's what I'm trying to say.
You do work hard, though, don't you, for it?
Yeah, you work hard because you have to be able to work hard enough so that when you do get pumped up, you do look good.
Yeah.
But it's that element of, if you weren't to do it, if you just said, you know what, I'm just going to stand here absolutely natural, and everyone's like, you should do that. You're like, yeah, But then people are like, oh, he looks out of shape. And then 100 push-ups
The
later
pressure.
and 50 crunchies, and all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, Rab, how long did they make to take that change? I'm like, I don't know, 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It's quite, and then good lighting as well.
I didn't realise that until I met you.
Yeah.
And seeing you do your things. Even the light we've got here now.
Yeah.
I
Well,
would have just, yeah.
for definition, you want light above you. Well, for muscular definition, you want light above you.
Mm-hmm.
And so it shines down. So, like, you know, if you're in a kind of foresty setup, then usually the lights were good. Where lighting's tough is like bright areas like beaches and goodness knows what else. And it does kind of add that element of, it's pressure to look good and stay looking good, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Can I ask, when you're online and you're buying clothes, what do the men look like now? Because I don't know whether I've never asked men this, but within the women's case, if I go online now, the women are a lot curvier. So beforehand, they were stick then. Like if I was to ever go on ASOS years and years ago.
Advert, by the way.
Advert. Oh no, sorry, not ASOS. No, sorry, not ASOS. New Look. It was probably New
The
Look.
Aquarium podcast is brought to you by ASOS.
Yeah. Or J Norm. Do you remember J Norm?
Jane Norm. Is it not Norman? Jane Norman. That was a shop, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So you just call it Jane
Jane
Norman? Is that the cool way of saying it?
Is it not
is
J
that down
Norman?
with the kids? Did you not say Jane Norm?
No, J Norm. Oh no, I did say I did. I'll have to play it back. Yeah, are the men like really muscular? What do they look like?
Well, normally what I do is I go into the children's section and shop there, so that way it's smaller and tight. It's like, find a t-shirt you like in adult size and buy a couple sizes smaller.
Oh, it's funny. I actually do shop in the men's section sometimes.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I quite like baggy clothes. But...
Okay. Well, it depends on what I'm shopping for. I usually try and shop for, I suppose, I do look at the model who's hopefully of similar build.
You do, yeah.
Yeah, because I have quite long arms, and then I've got a kind of odd shape where, because I wouldn't consider myself that tall, I'm like 5'9", 5'10", so something that fits me across here is sometimes then too long at the bottom.
Yeah.
And so, what are the models? I suppose if I deliberately buy kind of muscular fit, if you like, and it works okay then. That's a good point, actually. I usually buy the clothes based on who they're designed for, because with men's clothing, it's slightly different. They gear it around muscular fit or slim fit. I cannot stand those slim fit tracksuit bottom things, by the way. I just can't get
What are
them.
they?
You've seen them. It's like they're like slim fit joggy bottoms that go really narrow. And
are they not for really tall people?
Well, you get muscular guys wearing them too, and it just looks weird.
Oh, really?
It's every time I remember
They're
I was
just like
in
bulging out.
I think Hollister do them as well. I remember being in there and trying to pair on. I was like, this is just weird.
Hollister. And Jack Wills. Jack Wills is coming back in though, actually.
Joe Hollister uses pheromones in the shops. So pheromones are like the scents that kind of then open up. You could use animals and creatures use pheromones to attract their mate. And they use specific pheromones in their shop perfumes to get people to be a bit more relaxed and likely to spend.
Oh, really?
That's why everybody says it smells so good in there, because the difference between a smell and a pheromone is it'll smell differently to each person. I think.
It's pretty dark in there though.
It's pretty dark.
It is dark.
Dark soul.
What was it I said earlier?
In the depths of winter, you said. Yeah.
In the depths of winter.
In the depths of winter. We do have some of our sayings as we have.
Yeah.
But yeah, the pressures are definitely different. We did our photo shoot recently.
That was tough for me because I haven't been in a dress in front of a camera for a while.
Yeah.
So that was quite tough for me. But it was also really fun, so I was over that. But...
It was a whole day of filming, isn't it? I mean, to be honest, I was always kind of okay there, because when you put a kilt on, although sometimes I wear it a bit lower than I should, but ultimately you can pull your kilt up and it can cover up your lower abs. So actually, you know, if you weren't completely in shape, you can hide the telltale signs of the belly or anything like that.
Yeah.
Because there was nowhere to hide in your dress, right?
I was also quite worried about people watching, because you're quite a natural.
What you mean, like actually, or people watching?
No, I mean like actual people watching.
Oh yeah.
Watching us do the lift. I was panicking because I was thinking, oh no, is that going to put too much pressure on us? And are we going to? But you're pretty natural. You're used to a camera.
Yeah. It was kind of a funny day with the weather, so it was sort of scaring people off a little bit, wasn't it?
It was. It made it less busy, didn't it? I think.
Yeah.
Towards the end.
It's funny because on that photo shoot, like this is, I mean, part of the pressures of social media, I think, is that everybody thinks their opinion matters, and that adds a whole new level to the kind of stuff that, because like a lot of people are scared to post things for fear of somebody having a comment on it. And was it Mike Tyson said, everybody got way too comfortable dissing people without getting punched in the face.
Yeah.
Right.
You've said that to me before, that one.
Not aggressively.
You told me time to time. No.
Yeah, but
No,
that
but,
particular
yeah.
phrase, it's that
So-
people have got way too
yeah.
comfortable spouting their opinion like it matters. Like, you wouldn't say to someone in real life, yeah, that dress looks shit on you. You wouldn't say it. So why do people type it online? And where I got it actually, which is fascinating, is that the amount of people that like want to correct you. So with the kilt, obviously when we were doing that lift, I didn't want my kilt on too tight at that point, and it slipped down a little bit to my waist. Because when you're topless in a kilt, it looks better if you're wearing it from the waist. The amount of people are like, oh, you're supposed to wear the kilt higher and it's supposed to sit above the knee. I was like, I know that. But when you're being a posing twanger topless, it looks a bit silly when it's the way up to here. And everybody has to have their opinion on it.
And also as well, like, why would you comment on that? Out of all the things that you could comment, you decide to comment something negatively. That's for me, that's where I struggle with it all. I'm like, I don't know. Out of all of the things you could say, you say something like negative like that. It still surprises me.
It's that negativity bias. So negativity bias is like if two statements are said in equal intensity, we naturally lean towards the negative side. So like that dress, if 9 people said, Libby, that colour was great on you, and one person said, no, that Libby, that colour doesn't look great on you, it doesn't bring out your eyes or something, right? You would focus on the one person that said the negative, even though the other 9 people, you know, it's like 90% more positivity, you naturally lean towards the negative. And then the thing is with negativity as well is that it hits harder if there's a link to one of your insecurities. Like if your insecurity when you were putting the dress on was, is this the wrong colour for me? Is it wrong for my skin tone or whatever? Or do I look bigger in this colour? If that was one of your insecurities and 9 people said you looked lovely and one person picked up on the one thing you were worried about, all of a sudden it'd be confirmation for you, and they call that negativity bias.
I guess it makes you question as well, right? If you have multiple people telling you certain things about your appearance or what you're wearing or how you're wearing it, you would question it, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You would. You'd be like, oh, does that look weird? Or, you know, it's a vicious cycle like that.
What's that saying? If you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. But
that's what I mean when I say, like, out of all of the things you could say, there's so many things you could say, yet you decide to pick a negative. It just...
What were we watching the other day when it turned about somebody's hair? Oh, it was that Simone Biles thing.
Oh, yeah.
So we were watching the
she
Netflix.
got it bad.
So it was the Simone Biles documentary on Netflix, and it went on about how she burst onto the scene. Now, was it her they focused on, or was it someone else? It was to do with her hair. It was her hair, wasn't it?
Yes, it was her hair. They were saying her hair looked like straw.
Yes, when she burst on the scene, all the negative comments became about her hair. And you're like, she's a gymnast. She just went and like smashed all the records and did all these moves that are now getting named after her. And people are commenting on her hair. Like, it was so stupid. And like, imagine you watch something. If your natural reaction is to pick a fault, then you really want to be addressing. That's something unhappy people do, isn't it?
Do you think social media has made people less good people?
That's a good point, actually.
Because essentially that person who has maybe said about Simone's hair probably wouldn't say it to her face, but it brings out a different side to people because they can do that. Yeah. So it's more tempting for those kind of people. So is it bringing out the worst in people, social media?
Brings out their inner troll.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's that whole thing like, do not engage, do not feed the trolls. Yeah. I remember years ago, obviously we were doing the Kilty coaches, every now and again you would engage with one. And the problem was because you'd put that person in their place, because they'd say something that'd be quite, and you thought, you know what, I'm going to prove you wrong. And then what happens is you say what you say, and then you keep checking to see if they've read it or replied to it or whatever they've done. Like, you can't usually tell if they've read it, but you're waiting for a response. And then eventually they respond on the next day. You're like, oh, they just... And you get nothing from it. You just never, ever win.
You're kind of chasing it all the time, I guess. If
Yeah.
you do.
And then sometimes as well, like, I've got zero tolerance for it now. I've actually got zero tolerance for pages that do these stupid inflammatory statements. You know, the ones where, like, they know what they're doing. They do a post, it's not with a specific image, it's just text. And it's a question posed that you know is going to create a huge debate in the comments. And then it creates a divide, you know, and you can't help but have a glance at the comments. I'm like, why did I do that? And luckily I've trained myself not to engage emotionally, and then I just make sure I hide all from that page, because like, they're just doing that for the engagement, but what they're doing is they're stirring up people. You know, you or I could be sitting here at a table and then we read this post about whether someone should or shouldn't have, you know, done a particular method of training a dog or disciplining a dog or something, and you get on your high horse. And, you know what I mean? And all of a sudden you engage in something that has nothing to do with you, and you're just like,
How do, I guess, really famous people, right? Do they just turn the comments off, or?
Oh, they must do. They mustn't look. Well, that's Simone Biles, for example. She says she doesn't look.
I reckon we should just start turning comments off.
Well, the thing is, this is the problem. I mean, you're right. Either the comments allows engagement. The way that most social media algorithms work, the more engagement, the more it gets recommended.
There should be a different way of engagement, though.
Yeah, you're right. It should be likes and something else. But that's almost like the
something
social media
else.
platforms. They want people having those conversations on the platforms. They almost want that kind of nonsense going on.
I guess without the negativity, there's no social media anymore, right?
What's they say? No news is... No. What's that thing about?
Bad news is better than no news.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And they just like people festering with fights. There's somebody I do a bit of work with, and they've trained themselves really hard not to go down those rabbit holes. And I'm guessing the kind of posts that she sees a kind of a lot of arguments between males and females and rights and wrongs and all this kind of stuff. And every now and again she'll go off on one and put someone in their place, and then she regrets it, because
oh, really?
Ultimately it just comes back and it just bites back and forward, and you're just like, oh, just a mess.
Not good.
But then how do you deal with it? I mean, one of the lessons I taught recently was about do not disturb. You know, you can put your phone on do not disturb mode. But if you can do that, if you can turn off notifications for social media as well, that helps.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty lucky. I mean, I don't have even nearly as much as a following as you have, but I don't get I don't get anything. The only thing I will get is if I'm to post something about the dogs and it's about recall or something.
Yeah.
Have I had somebody be like, that's not how you recall a dog? But like, yeah, I guess in my line of business, right? It's not. Yeah.
The problem is as well, is like, I remember being told once, is that it doesn't matter how many followers you have, it's how many true fans you have, you know? And they say if you can get 1,000 true fans, you have got a very successful page or channel or all that kind of thing. And those kind of people are the ones that always engage. And I'm very, very lucky, because I would say I think I've got about 170 true fans. About 170. I usually, depending on what I've been doing and whatever, I've got about 170 to 200 true fans that are always there, that will comment, like, share. If I have a specific program that's interesting to them, they'll buy into it, and they'll be in the same kind of circles, dipping in and out when it suits their lifestyle. But you know, that's 1 to 200 out of, I don't know, Facebook's 32,000 or something.
Yeah.
You know, you think that's not a lot. It's because the vast majority of the other ones either just don't give a damn, or followed you once because I was probably running around half naked in a kilt, or did one video that maybe resonated with them and then they didn't stay and engage, or maybe I changed the content I was providing or something. So really, they say you need to have a really successful page, 1,000 true fans, and every now and again I'll come across a page that'll have like 1 million followers. The way you notice it is when you look at you go down their engagement on the content they're sharing. They're 1 million followers and they're only getting 400 likes. You think?
Yeah, I have noticed that.
And you're like, that doesn't add up. Like 1 million people follow, and they're only getting as many likes as I am getting on a semi-decent post at 32,000. Like,
yeah.
And that doesn't. they've got 30 times the following, but not the same
Well, like you
engagement.
say, that's why it doesn't matter how many you have,
Yeah.
isn't it?
I suppose it comes down to like what you're chasing then, are you? You want that, how many followers I've got? Is that the thing you're trying to go for? Or are you trying to, do something different with your product? Like, are you trying to make a change, make a difference, I guess.
Yeah.
Good value content.
This is it, isn't it? Some people, I think, follow people for the wrong reasons.
Oh yeah, I've had that.
Yeah. So.
It's making sure you get the right type of followers as well.
Yeah.
Because the other ones, it depends as well, because it's how people find you. Because a lot of the times I was shared by, say, a gay page, right, or an LGBTQI, right, and they would just share a post. Now that the page knew that I was straight and had children and whatnot, and they were just, oh, that's a great post. They share it. But then all of a sudden you've got people that follow the LGBT or Gay Pride magazine or whatever it was that shared you, and they just see this guy in a kilt with his top off, posing like a twanger, right? And then it's shared by the page that they follow. So they then follow you thinking that you're part of that particular community. And then later on see you with children like, oh, he's not gay, he's gay baiting. You're like, no, I wasn't. I was just doing my thing. And somebody just happened to share me and you came across me on a different platform. How did you have children? I'm like, what? When you just think, just stop, just have a glass of water. Just calm. So it's how people have found you as well.
Like why people think they've got the right to even ask you that question. I don't know.
I know.
That's a very personal question. That's not, like, that's really personal.
I know.
So
it does happen, unfortunately.
It is mental. Like, I would never type that on my phone and ask that question to somebody I have no idea who they are. I don't know them personally. It's mental, isn't it? How people feel like they can ask that.
Yeah. So before we did this particular podcast, I put a little thing out for Q&As. We had one main question, which was a bit of a joke initially. It was any tips on the lovely mane for Instagram ready? And obviously I joked, I said me, Libby or Nala, and they were saying, oh, me. So I will give you my top tips for my mane, and then you can give your top tips for that glossy hair of yours.
Thank you.
Very clean. You obviously just washed it.
I know. I just
she's worth it.
No, honey. I just woke up like this, right? Just got out of bed.
Yeah. There's social media ready. It takes me about 2 minutes, not even 2 minutes to do my hair, actually. 30 seconds. Well, I wet it first.
If that.
Gel on. That's it, done.
Yeah. Especially if you've just had it cut. I was just saying that, wasn't I?
Yeah, there's no real point, right? Just kind of...
Still looks good though.
Well, how long does it take you to do yours then?
Wash?
Oh, like that.
Until I get to this stage, or
because it's very. Look how shiny that is.
It takes me probably around about an hour altogether.
An hour. 16 minutes of your life.
An hour, yeah. Depending on how tuggy my hair is.
Now, I saw pictures of you when you were blonde.
Yes, I used to be blonde.
Used to be blonde.
Yeah. I have to say, since I have stopped bleaching my hair, definitely, the shine has come back. But actually, I would probably say the secret is to not wash it. Now, that's not
you heard it here first. Don't wash it, people.
That's not being gross, everyone. Like, I do wash on... I do wash, okay? I dog walk. I deal with a lot of animals, so I do wash. I do.
You
Anyway,
dirty girl.
I mean, sometimes I don't wash. Let's be honest. No, it's not washing my hair. So when I became a dog walker, I'm obviously outside a lot, and I swear that's the trick as well.
Fresh air.
Fresh air.
Yeah.
Because I get asked it quite a bit, like how, especially my mum, she asked me, "Oh my God, your hair is so soft and shiny now."
Of course it is, mummy.
Yes, of course, mum. Yes. No, it's just like, what have you done? I'm like, well, actually, I'm in the fresh air and I don't wash it. There's no oils I use. There's no really expensive conditioner. Like, there's no anti-frizz stuff I use. I mean, my diet isn't even necessarily always that great. It's good,
All right.
but it's not, I don't eat avocados and put avocados in my hair.
How do you resist the urge? Like, see if that was me and somebody kept asking me, Rab, how's your hair so long and shiny? I would find it really hard not to take the piss. I'd be like, well, listen, every night I rub eggshells in it and go to sleep on a bed of eggshells or something like. I wouldn't be able to stop myself telling somebody some nonsense just to see if they would do it. Yeah.
No, just plain simple. Don't wash, guys.
There you are. Well, actually, it's funny you say that because when I was younger and obviously started to get spots, I tried all the different creams and lotions. And then eventually got to the point where I felt like I was just drying my face out and it was making it worse. So
Yeah.
I actually stopped washing my face.
Yeah.
Like, I literally was in the shower and obviously I'd wash my hair and the bubbles would run down my face, but I wouldn't specifically wash my face. And from that point onwards, I had significantly less spots.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you've ever noticed this, but I never use deodorant.
You never use deodorant.
Please tread carefully. Have you ever noticed?
Well, I have not noticed actually.
You could answer. No,
I use deodorant.
I never use deodorant. I stopped using deodorant 6 years ago.
Well, I'll be damned.
6 years ago when I went travelling around the world and I couldn't afford deodorant.
You just stopped using it?
Because I would rather go to a bar and spend money there. So we gave up
Better to smell like vodka.
so we gave up the deodorant to have a pint of beer or something. But I stopped using it and I stopped getting BO.
Well, there you go.
But they say, don't they, that deodorant literally has plastic in it.
Is that like your air guitar you're
Yeah.
playing? It's like your
It
air
literally has plastic in it, doesn't it?
Yeah, no.
Does it not? Is it like aluminium or something?
Yeah, no, you're right. There is something to that anyway. But it's funny because even before I did this call, I put aftershave on. Did you notice that?
Oh yeah, you did that the other night.
I
as
sometimes
well.
do it before a Zoom call, and I don't know why. Like, no one's here to smell it but you. But I don't know why. When I jump on these things, I feel like if I feel like I smell good, I feel fresh.
I know what you mean.
It's more of
I
a kind of
do.
mindset thing.
I
rather
guess
than
it's kind of like a quick shower, right?
good old Spanish shower. That was like,
Yeah.
So if I just to stop using, no, if I don't use deodorant.
If you stopped using it for a long, I mean, it's been, well, I say 6 years actually. It's not 6 years, it'll be 8 years now. But it's been 8 years since I used it.
Every time she tells a story, it gets bigger and bigger. Right? It's actually 11 years now.
Well, do you know why I say that?
Rab is like this big.
I say that because a Facebook memory came up actually.
Oh.
Of,
Well, if Facebook says it's 8 years, then it must be 10 years.
yeah, because that was when I posted a photo.
Oh, yes.
8 years ago.
It's on Facebook.
And I was really sad looking at that photo actually.
Why? Do you have blonde hair now?
I didn't have like my creases back then, especially this middle one. Remember I was saying to you last night, I was like, oh my god, that crease there.
My girls play with my bump. They grab them and they go bumpy, bumpy on my lines because I frown a lot, right? And many times people say that on like, when I'm trying to do my moody pose. I've only got like 3 poses. If you've ever been on my social media, I've got the smiley, happy, yeah, and then I've got the there's something over there.
Yeah, I actually do.
But do you know what's funny is every now and again, right, somebody will comment going, oh my god, is everything okay? You look unhappy. I'm like, I'm just trying to be a posing twanger. Like, leave me alone. Try to do that.
I wish
look.
I had it.
You've got the smolder.
I love your smolder. I think it's so good. I wish I had it.
Sometimes I just stare
try
at you.
it?
I mean, not in a creepy way. Well, kind of in a creepy way. But sometimes I just stare at you. I'm like, you're so beautiful.
Oh, thanks.
Usually you're like
so
picking your
handsome.
nose at the time. Now I know she doesn't really wash. It's like it's just even better. It's like cave woman or something. Eh?
You love it when I don't wash.
I do actually. Yes. It's very.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can do the smolder too. You just have to look into the distance and stuff.
I can't do it without laughing. You're just so good at getting it done.
It's because Liam's brilliant. Like Liam has always done my photos for me, and we've got it. We're like a well-oiled machine. Of course, you would have saw us.
Yeah.
So we get into position, and we do the smiley pose, we do the kind of pointy pose, and then there's always classic, right? Now the smolder. It's like,
yeah, it's a good smolder.
And he knows to get one of each, and we're obviously depending on which one looks the best. or
You
whatever
are
it is
very
we're
good
doing.
at. You're quite naturally good at
Just because I'm full of myself, then,
photo.
right?
No, it's really hard to. I think as well. Like if you get photos, I think when I had my awards night, I'm very picky. I'm like, oh no, not that way, not that way, not that way.
Well, the thing is, I mean, I'll put them onto the video. Like those, I thought you looked incredible in every photo. But isn't it funny how like what other people think's
Yeah.
really nice, like you're picky with your own ones. Like that's what's
It's
like.
because you pick out, you see things differently.
Yeah, well, that's like I've got the guy Stuart's been helping with the thumbnails, and I've done the thumbnail for this video as well. And it's quite nice when somebody else takes your photos for things because he's using images of me and you as well that we wouldn't have chosen. But he's done it in such a way you're like, oh, that looks good, that looks good. Like it's just someone else taking your stuff. It's kind of just like surrendering to the process a little bit, isn't it?
And he does such a good job as well.
Yeah, and he's very, very quick with it. But the point is that somebody else sees you differently than the way that you see you. You know, you can be overcritical.
I think it's when it's like that. Is it kind of like this, maybe? Like when somebody's trying to find something and they can't find it.
You're smouldering when you're telling that story. You're like, is it kind of... Did you see you did that? You did. You're like,
is it the distance?
Is it kind of like, and you're fluttering your eyes at the same time?
Not good at the smolder. I'm good at the hair flick, but
when we first were together, she was like, yeah, we were like, oh yeah, we look so good together. You're like, yeah, we look like brother and sister. I was like, what the fuck?
You hate when I said that.
Because it's creepy. It's like a Game of Thrones or something.
No, that is like a is that not like an actual thing that people tend to pick who they either look similar to, which then means a relative, right?
Well, I knew that there was a study done on attraction, and they did. I think it would say you were given 10 people, but one of the people of the opposite sex was your face flipped or molded into the opposite sex, and the people always in every one of the studies or every individual one put the female version or the male version of their own face in the top 3 or 4 every single time. Not necessarily top, but higher up. Because
if you look at us, we are very similar and
I mean our beards are similar. It's just incredible.
Well, let's not talk about that. That's an ongoing issue.
It was like Misha, she's like my little female equivalent, isn't she?
Oh my gosh, she's an absolute twin.
It's when I said, there's that old clip I keep sharing all the time. It's like, I said to her, if you had a beard, you'd look like me. And she's like, no, you'd look like me. And I was like, oh, she's like flipped it on me in a little manner.
She is.
My mini me, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So if I grew my hair, I could be all well, I'd have to grow out to cover my bald patch, right? But to be all glossy like yours. Have we got the same? I think my eyes are darker, like my soul. I think we've almost got the same coloured eyes, right?
No, mine's are darker.
No, mine's are darker. I think mine's are darker.
Yeah, they might be darker.
Are you conceding that point?
What were was it the girls that were saying who had dark? Oh, they were saying I had darker hair.
Darker hair?
Yeah.
Well, actually, I would take that because I used to have dirty blonde hair when I was younger, and my hair is not as dark as people think. It's because I put so much gel in it. It's not actually that dark. People will be like, shut the fuck up, but it's because it's the wet look gel. It's more like a really, really dark brown. It's just because my eyes are so dark. Yeah. In the depths of winter.
In the depths of winter.
Why were you saying that? Oh, because your room was cold. That was it.
Yeah, I was saying how wait to we're in the depths of winter.
I walked into a room. I was like, Jesus, I had nipples that could cut glass.
And you were like, God, it's so cold in here.
Wait till the depths of winter.
I said, wait till we're in the depths of winter.
You're actually wearing my favourite colour. Did you do that just for me?
I did, yeah. I did.
She's such a good liar.
I did. What's my favourite colour?
Oh, green.
Maroon,
ready.
Yeah, maroon. Or pink. I do love pink.
I like in that baby pink top.
Yeah, nice. I do like pink.
You'd look good in any colour, actually.
I don't know. Yeah, there's no color. Do you know what? Yellow. I'm actually kind of into yellow at the moment. Such a happy color.
See, in the summer, if you have a tan, we can pull off yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever worn yellow?
I do. I do have a yellow t-shirt. I do.
You do have a yellow t-shirt.
I do have a yellow t-shirt. If I wear my
Okay.
dungarees, I'm like a minion.
Oh,
True story.
yeah.
Yeah. You know the Minions, right? Minions?
Yeah.
Yeah, from Despicable Me.
Yeah, I watched
Yeah.
the movie.
Speaking of movies, I have finally
Oh.
finally got her into Rocky. And we're 40 minutes in. How you find it so far? Now, be nice. Because this is a deal breaker, I'm just saying.
No, I'm actually really enjoying it. Yeah. I'm really enjoying it. I'm liking Rocky.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still trying to warm up to his lover.
This is Adrian. It's more
Yeah.
than just his love.
And do you know what's really funny actually? When I was driving in the van today, I should have told you this, but I was thinking out loud. And I thought I saw her at the side of the road.
Oh, I'll be damned.
She was at B&Q today, guys.
Oh, yeah. Talia Shire. I think she's still alive, or maybe she's not.
Oh, well, it looked like the way she was in the film.
Yeah.
So it's obviously not her.
Well, we just caught up on Cobra Kai as well. You got into that in the end.
I watched that pretty quick.
Yeah, but remember,
Yeah.
because we watched Karate Kid, and I had this whole thing when I was like, I guarantee you, because you start off, when you watch Karate Kid, you hate Johnny and you like Daniel, but I'm Team Johnny all the way.
Yeah, but were you Team Johnny when Karate Kid was out? Tell me that now.
All right,
Yeah.
fine, when you put it like that.
So, like, when I was watching Karate Kid, I was still in the same mindset you were back then when you were watching it.
Yeah, but the point I was making is that when you start watching Cobra Kai, you'll naturally lean towards Johnny, and you're like, oh, I don't know. I was like, well, in fact, I got you to record a video. You recorded a video on my phone, and I said, I bet you that by the time we're watching Cobra Kai, you'll love Johnny.
I do love Johnny.
He's a big badass, isn't he? But then Daniel's lovable too, isn't it? The writing's really, really good.
I think it depends. They're both really different people.
Mm-hmm.
I like them both, but I guess it depends what kind of person you're more fond of.
Are they just different?
They are. They're just.
That's the old classic, isn't it? If you
Yeah.
ask, like, am I better than your ex in bed? It's like, it was just different.
Have I not said that a couple of times? Not like that.
Oh, not like that.
No, I'm sure I have said that.
Well, you said it is different to do with other
not
things.
to do with other things.
Yeah,
not
yeah.
that.
We've
No.
got to try and dig our way out.
God, not that, right? No, yeah.
It's just different.
I've never heard of that. I've heard of that really cliche thing, isn't it? It's like it's not you, it's me.
Yeah, well, it's one of them. That's exactly. It's one of them, and
Yeah.
it's just different. It was one. I can't remember what movie was taking the mickey out of it, but making that joke as well.
Really?
It's just different.
I've never heard that one. No.
So to drum up or to sum up the episode in one sentence, the pressures of social media, Libby, in a shortest way possible. What do you think is the main pressures of social media today?
Oh, I would say perfection.
Perfection.
Yeah.
I would say the pressures of social media come from avoiding, what's the right word for it? You're trying to avoid people making fun of you. There's a word for that. Avoiding
Negativity?
negativity. Would that be it? Maybe avoid negativity. You're trying to avoid
Conflict?
avoiding conflict because you're not in an argument with it. When you're trying to avoid being the target or the butt of someone's joke. So that's a lot of pressures, isn't it? You're trying to, you take a photo, you're like, I don't like how I look there, so you delete it because you're trying to avoid somebody persecuting you. No, that's the wrong word. Well, anyway, you're avoiding being the center of someone's joke. I see.
Oh, probably actually. I'll change my answer. I'd probably say natural beauty, actually.
Is the pressure
The
of it?
pressure of natural beauty.
Can you hear Baxter drinking?
Baxter, you know how to speak Spanish.
And your natural beauty, Baxter. The pressures of natural beauty.
I mean, like, it's all a lot of plastic surgery now.
So it's unattainable now naturally.
Yes, yeah.
There you go. There we are. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for watching this episode. As always, if you like, comment, and subscribe. If you're not already subscribed, share it on your socials too. And we will come back to you each week with a different topic and more nonsense. It's just different, Libby.
It's not you, it's me.